I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara is not joining us tonight. She had a dentist appointment earlier and she's got a game to attend to. So, possibly might hear her in the background going crazy, but hopefully not because I kind of wrapped the studio up to help with this microphone, the microphone echo. Why am I? There we go, to help with the microphone echo. And if you haven't already, please drop a like. It would really help us out. You'd be a real swell person if you did that. How is everybody tonight? I'll try not to scream too loud since I got this microphone. I'm trying to place it just right. Remember, I'm not used to the whole microphone thing, so work with me through the next few videos. I got another one coming, a lapel mic. I thought it was going to come the same time this one came, and now it's saying it's not going to be here for like a month. Guess that's how it goes. Read the fine detail. Read the fine detail. I hope you're ready for a black boy with a python, my car to scale. Can't wait. Can't wait. Um, Talica's got some hinders getting regrinds on it. Super jealous. Because like to me, like that's like that would be like the most infamous, if that's the right word, hinder is to have one. Like, well, to me it'd be with a deep hollow grind, and it doesn't have to be crazy deep, just something kind of like a Sabenza or something. But he's getting a really nice flat grind, really thin though, like super thin behind the edge, just a crazy regrind. So talk about cutting performance and build, strength, all in one. Yes, yes. Hey, Amy. Hey, sweetheart. To play Cyberpunk 2770, if you have a 3080 GPU, you're good to go. It's a super fun game. Awesome. Yeah, Kara's got the Cyberpunk. She hasn't really played it yet because she's been balls deep, sort of say, in the game she is playing. She's been getting pretty great. She likes. Um, so I contacted Artisan, Russell from Artisan, because a while back he actually contacted me. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. I did a review on the Artisan Bombardier, and I beat the hell out of it. Like, not beat it like the knife, but I mean like the review. Like, I scolded it. You could say, like, I tore it to pieces. And anybody who would want one would not be getting one after they watched my review for sure, because I don't think I said much of anything good about it. And so Russell got a hold of me and asked me, he said they seen the review and asked me if I want to check out some other artisan knives. I said, yeah, of course. And he said that he's going to see what they got and then he'll get back hold of me. And, I know things happen, times are crazy, and I can only imagine how busy they get. Well, he never contacted me. Hey, Talica, thanks, bud. Which isn't that, big of a deal. I didn't care, but there we go. But I contacted him, I let him know, hey man, it'd be, if the offer still stands, there's a knife I'm actually very interested in. And he said he'd see what he could do, but I said, and I know it's kind of expensive, and I kind of feel like I don't know, a dick for picking a very expensive knife for the one I want to check out, because I'm sure he was thinking budget knives. But the the artisan Arion, or Arion, however you pronounce it, to me that thing looks amazing, and it reminds me a lot of the that Field Duty I just did that mod video on and reviewed. It reminds me of it so much. Let me know how the sound is going, guys. I'd really appreciate some feedback on the sound. Um, but so he said that they're selling out really quick, so he's gonna see what he can do. He said he's gonna see if he can snag one and get one to me, and I really hope he does, because that thing looks like a badass knife. I would love to review that knife. I cannot roof the tomb. Sold their soul to Satan to also to win a Super Bowl, and God fearing man and Jesus would not like me rooting for Satan's team. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but you guys are getting deep in the comments. um, what was? Oh, so I talk about. Oh wait, hold on a second. Cerebus makes the Arion. What do you mean Cerebus makes the Arion? I don't know what that means. So there's an artisan Arion or Arion, however it's pronounced. I think they originally, because they had a prototype last year, and the prototype they had one in titanium and like Mochatai or Timascus. I seen some videos on it. Now the one that they have right now that you can actually order, you can actually order it right now, has like a burgundy micarta. Looks beautiful. I'd rather the full titanium. You guys know that, but it still looks badass. I still love the way it looks. So I'm down for whatever. It reminds me of a little bit more affordable field duty. The field duty is, to me, I loved that knife. I really do like that knife. Now, there's a couple knives that kind of resemble that, like the what's that one that Best Tech Shodan or whatever. That knife kind of resembles that kind of. I don't know. Anyways, my point is though is that the artisan looks a lot like that knife, and it reminds me of it, and I really want it. Now, there's another one by Liang Ma, the Field Duty EDC, which is a smaller version of the Field Duty. That looks pretty cool too. I'm needing the full tie battle black for one of my battle black MX or XM18s. I'm needing the full tie battle. Yeah, that battle black XM18 does look badass. That's what's so cool about the hinders in general, man, is there's so many ways to put them. And I kind of thought about it, like when you buy like all the pins, let me pick up the bigger one, all the like the pins and the hardware, just all the different little pieces and things, man, from all the different scales and scale materials, and you can make a hinder exactly the way you want. Even like down to like these covers right here, you can get like ones that are like have designs on them and different types of materials. You guys see what I'm talking about? I'm talking about like this pen right here. Like there's so many different features and ways you can make them. That to me is awesome. I like that. The field duty looks pretty close to the Arion. Liang Ma actually had to talk to Cerebus about his design because it was so closely related to the Arion. Really, I believe that. And like I said, it reminded me of it. Now, I don't think they look exact, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it definitely resembles it, but I'm really hoping I get it because it's a $266 knife. Now, the field duty, you're talking like, I think it was four something. So a little less than double the price, but that's a big gap though. It's still a big price difference. So it is a more affordable one. Now, have you guys seen the new Viper Turn? Viper Knives Turn. That thing looks pretty sweet. It's a backlock, but it's a backlock on ball bearings. So even though it's a backlock, it's a fast opening backlock. So you can easily, I think it's on thumbs. Yeah, it's on thumb stud. So you can easily deploy it with the thumb stud. And it's supposedly very, very smooth for a backlock. Like it doesn't have that really strong resistance. At least it doesn't look like it. But it looks like it has a crown spine all the way through the backspace. So just everything looks so well done. It looks badass. I think even the blade shape, it's kind of like a new age buoy. Kara, she had a dentist appointment earlier. She got some work done, so she's not wanting to. She's also playing her game. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's more about the game than the dentist. But she's got a meeting for her game thing. Like she's got some friends that she's meeting up with on there. So, but her birthday is what's today's date? I think it's in like 2 days. So Saturday she'll definitely be here for her birthday. Hey Aunt Dawn. I know everybody. I miss her too, man. She's right around the corner. I wish she was here. But I'm happy she's having fun. You know, this is really fun for me. I know that's really fun for her, so you know it works out. And I want nothing but for her to have fun. So I'll post 76, and you know I just want to hurry up and really quickly talk about this because I think this is kind of important to keep bringing to people's attention. I talk about it every once in a while. I talk about the things I see on Outpost 76's channel. It seems like he posts right before I do a live every week. So he had the Benchmade proper and a Mannix Rex 45 and S90V. The proper was S90V on factory edges. Okay, factory edges. So it has not been sharpened yet. The thing got 26 feet of cutting before it would not cut paper. 26 feet. Think about that. S90V should have like 400 cuts. You know, it's S90V. I mean, if not more, a lot more. I'm just, you know, on a factory edge, it should be at least pulling 200 cuts, I would imagine. But 26 feet, what are we talking about? And that's why, and then the Mannix did pretty good, not for Rex 45, but it did good for a factory edge. And my point of me bringing this up is that even though those are, you know, like I said, like with Rex 45, that it did good for a factory edge. You know, think about that. I'm saying it did good for a factory edge. So, meaning that if it had a resharpened edge or a new edge, that you would get way better performance out of it. So it just goes to show how shit factory edges are. And I think that's why it's very important to resharpen, know how to sharpen, or send your knives out to get sharpened. However, just don't rely on a factory edge. A factory edge is going to take a crap on you, and you're gonna need a plan to put a new edge on there. And I think people tend to get a knife and then they'll use it and they won't be satisfied with that steel or whatever because of the way it performed. But you can't base it off of that. It's one, they get burnt. And then I think there's something else to it. I don't think it's just a burnt edge. I think it's a few other factors too. I've fallen on hard times. I can't decide what knives to buy. Send thoughts and prayers. We will definitely all pray for Knife Sergeant. If any of you guys can sneak over to Knife Sergeant's channel and help him out, and if you ever need to borrow any knives, Sergeant, you just let me know, and we'll get some knives sent over to you. But 26 feet, man. What are we talking about? That doesn't even. I can't. That just blows my mind. Like I don't even look at that as like. That to me is so garbage. We're talking about an upper tier super steel. 26 feet. My 440C, my budget of budget steels would outperform that. That's fucking ridiculous. And I think, I would guess that's definitely a burnt edge. Obviously, that's a burnt edge. Hopefully, it's not a bad heat treat, but I don't think it's a bad heat treat. But I don't know. I just, you know, I always talk about sharpening and resharpening and knowing how to sharpen. And this is another thing too. This is, and I'm not trying to call anybody out. I don't want anybody to think that because I'm never doing that when I talk about this, like this type of stuff. But if you've had a knife for, you know, 6 months, or like somebody like on a channel has had a knife for a long time, and it still has that factory edge, you can really tell that thing has not been used at all, because I don't know the percentage like of factory edges that are crap versus good factory edges. Like, put it this way, this buoy, this thing has a good factory edge. So I'm not saying there's not good factory edges. I'm not saying it's obviously a new edge would be better, but what I'm saying is that it's not burnt. I was hacking at a tree. I hacked a little tree down about that thick with it. I even shaved it, cut up cardboard. I did a bunch of stuff with this thing, and nothing. It's as if it never touched anything. I mean, but that's how it should be. But when you have a burnt edge, that's what's going to happen. But with the percentages, Thanks, Talika. What, I don't know what the percentage is on, like, I would say at least 25 to 30%, if not more. Probably more than that. I'm being generous. Are crap. And so if you have 10 knives, let's say 3 or 4 of them are going to have bad factory edges out of 10. Does anyone have a Pelican case? I do not have a Pelican case, but there's lots of places you can get Pelican cases. You can order them online. Isn't that why Super Steel Steve did some number of sharpenings before trying to test them? Yeah. So the standard thought is like 3 edges. Three. Outpost 76 goes up to 5 sometimes, but he's not. You got to understand, he's not like doing a full sharpening. What he's doing is he's doing a sharpening. So he's taking the steel off the edge. So like say if I took my 300 grit stone, put a burr on each side and knocked it off, that's an edge. So he's it's not like he's going up to 5,000 grit 5 times. Do you know what I mean? He's just, he's sharpening it 3 to 5 times, but it should. I think the standards for me personally is like 2 to 3, because I would probably just remove more steel the first sharpening. Just do a little bit of the extra, right? Like instead of, but unless you're trying to save the steel, then go through it slower. What's up, Blade Brigade? 49 watching and only 30 some odd likes. That means I'm going to start calling people out. That's all that means. You guys know the deal. I run down the list of all the people who like to come in here and they're just too lazy to hit that like button. The least you could do is hit the dislike. You guys know I'm just messing around, but I will be naming every single one of you here in about 5 minutes. How do I store my knives? I have knife rolls and knife cases, but then I also have other things like I got a drawer where I keep what are those packets called? Like the moisture packets, and I keep cloth in there and everything. And then I have these like wraps like this and like this. So like this one's a Smoky Mountain Knife Works pack. I got another one sitting there. This one's a Carhartt one. Normally I always keep it buckled. And what happens is when it rolls up, all the knives roll into each other, so none of the clips hit. Everything is nice and tight, and the clip only hits fabric. So I really like this case, and that case is so durable. I mean, it's very nice. Usually it's in the links in the description. I like that case. That's a good case. But a Pelican case obviously is the best, but it's harder and it is bigger, bulkier, yada yada. But that is the best case you can get. Like people you don't want to end up like Ramsey. Do you have the regular foam for it? What's the regular foam? Mr. C, thanks, bud. We appreciate all donations, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you. How many likes are we at now? I don't know without going out, but it looks like we're at 42 with 55 watching. So we got a couple people probably that are not able. I know there's sometimes people that are listening that are not able, like, to just grab their phone, like they might be working or something. I understand that. But for the rest of you guys have no excuse. So for all the, I guess the majority of people in here are knife lovers. I'm sure there's a couple in here that are not. But if you had a knife design and you designed your own knife, I get the Kapara right here. If you were going to design your own knife, most people would say, if I asked, what OEM would you use? What company would you use? Most people would say 1 of 2, Reat or We knives, right? That's what most people would say. So aside from Reat and We, let's say if you had to have it done in the United States, it has to be in the U.S. Who's making it? Rockstead is Japan. So where would you make your knife if you had a design? What USA company is making your knife? Fuck you, Gerber. Hogue's a good one. Spyderco, CRKT, Spyderco, Southern Grind. Oh, I wasn't thinking about Southern Grind. Earlier when I was thinking of this question, I never thought of Southern Grind. Spyderco, Colorado, Medford, ProTech. Okay. Nobody said Spartan. Spartan would be a good one, I think. Okay, so Medford all day. So I was on the fence between two. I was on the fence between Medford and Spyderco. And Hinder, Hinder would be a good one too. Chris Reeve would be all of them. All of these would be good because these are all like the top tier USA brands, right? I think they'd all be pretty good, but I think some of them have more benefits over others. So like, I mean, if for Medford, they have made knives with bearings now, right? So I would love to have like a solid kind of knife that they make with bearings, which I know some people like is just cringing right now. Russ on Tech. But I think like a knife that has great access to a lock bar because his lock bars are so strong with his same like hollow grinds and build quality and all the things he has, that would be amazing. But then I think about Spyderco, man. Spyderco does their steel very good. Their steel is amazing. They deal with a lot of steels. They deal with all materials pretty much. Blade Brigade said Spartan, ProTech, Microtech, Hinder, CRK, Spyderco, and Benchmade. That's basically all the tiers, but you did miss. You did miss a couple. You missed Strider. You missed Emerson. You missed. I know you probably just wouldn't pick those. That's probably why you didn't. Who else is there? There is Gerber, and the Gerber does have the USA zero tolerance. I think zero tolerance could do a pretty good job as long as they got their shit together with their heat treats, which I think they're doing a little bit better now. Buck, it's funny you said that, Fiend, because everybody wants to see a good design from Buck, right? It'd be awesome to have a good designer go to Buck and have them make it. That'd be awesome. Emerson, I like Emersons. I know some people think they're rough around the edges. They're this, they're that. They're expensive for what you're getting. They're overpriced. That's the point, all right? The point is that that's a bruiser of a knife. That's a knife that's rough around the edges. It's a work knife. It's a knife you're not scared to drop on the ground, or stick into a wall. That's the point of that knife. And that's what I love about those knives. And, they do the chisel grind. And I've talked about this a few times, but I've sharpened a few chisel grinds, man. And the beauty of them is, and I was talking to Man Gonna Steel earlier about this, but you can get thick edges. So where some knives say that are 25 thousandths behind the edge that don't cut good. Make them a chisel grind, they're going to cut they're 10 thousandths behind the edge. I mean, that's just the way it is with the chisel grinds. Even this knife, I did that with this Terzola knife, and I've talked about this a couple times. I put 15 degrees on one side and 22 degrees on the other side, 25 degrees on the other side, whatever it is. So it still has an edge on the other side, but the one side is laid back. And before I did it, I cut with it a bunch because I wanted to see, is there going to be a difference? And I mean, I cut with it. I had a nice fresh edge on there, cut with it. Then I put this edge on there. There's no comparison. This thing cuts like a beast now. You would never think that you were using the same knife cutting. It's crazy how much the performance increased. Buck's new S35 looks cool. Yeah, I love to see Buck doing anything. I mean, it's such a nostalgic company. I only want the best for Buck. Who's carrying what? Okay, so I just got a Case XX 6265 two-bladed red jig bone cover with lanyard hole from the 70-ish from Dad. And wow, what a killer blade. That's amazing, man. That sounds like a vintage badass knife. Well, I've carried a couple different knives today, but right now I'm carrying the Maximet Para 3. I'm still testing it, but because I'm soon going to be putting a polished edge on there, I'm trying to see what's better, if it's better with the toothy edge or the polished edge. And we'll see, because I did the opposite thing with my K390. So with the K390, I started with the polished edge. So my next edge is going to be a toothy edge, and then vice versa with this. What's everybody else got in the pocket right now? Just got my 20 CV Delica. That's awesome. Ferrum Forge Falcon, good knife. Carried the 20 CV bare knuckle today. Awesome. You know what I'd like to see? Speaking about the bare knuckle, man, that would be cool to see part 2 of it, right? Why didn't they do that? ZT came out. I don't mean to knock ZT, because I stuck up for them for 2 years while everybody else was giving them shit about not making big knives no more. Why won't you make big knives? Bring back the big knives. And I stuck up for them. And now here I am dogging on them. I think their catalog is shit this year. I don't like anything they got. I just don't. I'm sorry. I do not like what they got. They could have took the bare knuckle and the knockout and did a part 2 of both. They could have did think about this. Their catalog would have been so awesome if they did a bare knuckle, a knockout without an assist. So a de-assisted, or just a manual knockout, and a part 2 bare knuckle. Think about it. Fucking mic drop. I mean, it drives me nuts. Bare knuckle with a coated tool steel and blue anodized handles. Anything, right? I mean, they could have did so much. I don't like what they did. You're carrying the PM2 and Maximet, Louis. Nice. I got the Para 3 and the Maximet. M390 Manix. That's awesome. I love the Manix, man. I know I was late to the game, so I'm still screaming about it. Benjamin has got the Para 3 and K390 and the Native in S90V. That's awesome. I'd like to be carrying a Rockstead, but Jared is really holding me back on it. I've been wanting a premium bare knuckle ZT version forever. It'd be amazing in full tie. That's another... See, Talica, right there. See, they could have did a bare knuckle and tie and used the ZT. They called it the zero tolerance bare knuckle. Casey Tyler, update on the Patreon for January. Yes, there is an update, and it's coming very soon. Thanks, bud. Bro, I agree so much with Kershaw, ZT falling behind, and the bare knuckle knockout upgrades. That'd be so amazing, man. Who is their designer, and who is talking to these guys? And I think when they were getting shipped before, I thought they were doing fine. Everybody was giving them crap. I thought everything they were coming out with was great. They had unique designs, great EDC knives, a couple hard use knives. They had the Kershaw catalogs. They were doing great while everybody was giving them shit. This year, I know it's an old model, but my 0562 is badass. The 0562 is badass. And even some, I would never want them to get rid of that, so I don't want to say a part 2 of that, but that wouldn't be a bad idea either, doing a part 2 of that, as long as they kept the original one. Benchmade's catalog wasn't much better. I know, you're right, it wasn't. It seems like they just made a mini version of their popular model. That's exactly what they did. You're 100% right, and they made a gold class of that one, as if everybody buys gold class knives. Come on. I mean, they're only going to make them for 1 year. I can't speak Spanish. Somebody else can possibly translate. Benjamin, thanks, bud. Fist bump to you, brother. Thank you. I want to get the new the wee bruiser or whatever it was. XD thick boy. Do I have any knives for sale? I just sold 2 knives. Anything that if I had for sale, they're gonna be some of my old users and stuff like that. I have nothing special for sale, if that makes any sense. Like nothing like great. A lot of my knives are gift knives, and then the other ones that I have, like I'm still in the process of testing and reviewing and stuff. Some knives like I hang on to because I want to do a long-term update with them. Some knives, like yeah, they are disposable to me. Like I love them, but I have to think about the channel. So I do that. So it's not like I don't have knives I won't sell. And it's not like I don't have good knives either. Because that's another thing, man. You can totally use your damn knife and it still look perfect. Like this Benchmade Reptilian, I've used the heck out of this thing and this thing looks brand new. Yeah, it's had a couple edges, but you wouldn't think it had more than one. It's probably had four, but you wouldn't think it had more than one. It's not like the choil's gone or anything, and it's never had an Omega spring break. It's rock solid. But you know, some people, and this is another thing I want to talk about. I don't know if Stasa 23 is in the house, but I'm going to talk about him anyways. Talk about him behind his back. Maybe he'll show up. So one thing I love about Stasa 23 and his channel, and I said this last week, I asked a question. I said, if you had a knife that you loved, right, or that you thought you loved, you were thinking about buying, you're thinking about buying a knife, what channel are you going to go watch to see them review, like what review are you going to watch it on, right? What's the first reviewer you want to see, because they're usually, pretty accurate to what you like and blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. I picked Stasa 23, and I said Nick Shabazz on the other side because Nick Shabazz is very critical, and I know the things that me and him disagree with, that I don't care about, that he might complain about, that I don't care. But Stasa, I know he uses his knives, and if you go watch his collection update, he just posted it. This is like one of my things right here, right, that just like proves what I was saying. Watch his updates. All his knives have edges, right? Like he tells you, like, oh, I've had 2 edges put on this. You can see scratches, you can see wear, you can see upgrades, like he's like tweaked this or did this, and it just shows you that he's actually using and testing those knives. And I'm not talking crap about any knife channel that buys them, puts them in a case, and never picks them up until their next video. I'm not talking crap. I'm just saying, though, like that, but that's why I look to him sometimes, like for a knife like that. If I haven't seen yet, what does he think about it? How is it working out? Blah, blah, blah. Because I know he's actually testing and cutting with it and messing with it, the things that I'm going to do with it, so I definitely give him a lot of credit for that, because like I said, those updates videos, you can tell those knives are used, like doing a long-term update on a knife that still has the factory edge. Is it really a long-term update? Like, I'm not saying it's not. I mean, I guess you could flick it a million times and say that's a long-term update. But, yeah, I don't know. Blade Brigade, I miss having a bare knuckle. I need another zero tolerance. Should make an elite version in titanium called the closed fist or uppercut. That's a good idea. Sorry, I hit the camera. That's an awesome idea. I love it. Ratchford, aren't we 12 likes above a Rockstead viewing? Let me see. Where the hell is that guy? Where the hell is the Rockstead? We got it right here. All right. All right, you guys want Rocksteadness? Ooh, you know what? I got the camera now, or the microphone. I can really pick up some good knife sounds now. Probably if I'm over here. But yeah, I'm thinking about taking it apart. I'm gonna take it apart. I'm gonna clean it up and see if I can't get it any smoother. It feels like it's getting a little dry. Oh, speaking of that, I need to get some grease. I gotta get some grease for pivots. Or the what's that other KPL 10 weight or whatever? Is that what it's called? Help me out, guys. What is it? The other KPL, is it 10 weight? The heavier stuff, the stuff for for washers. Knife ASMR, exactly. Yeah, KPL. But what's the other one? There's the regular one, which is like for bearings, and then there's the thicker stuff. Then make an elite version of the knuckle called TKO. I love it. Yeah, KPL heavy. Okay, yeah. So the heavy. I need to get some of that. Deciding between. I thought it was like there was like a weight to it or something. Deciding between ZT0393 tie and carbon fiber and the concept Helix recommendations. Okay, so the 0393, I know that's a big knife, right? So is the Helix. So you're obviously looking for a big knife. I can't say with the 0393, I haven't tried it, but I'll say the Helix is pretty awesome. I got the review coming very soon, and another cool thing about it, and I'm going to definitely talk about this and possibly do it in my review. I think I should do it just to show how easy it is because it's ridiculously easy. This comes in a Tonto. It does have a tip right here, but when you use it and you cut with it, it cuts just like a drop point. There's no different. So if it's just the looks, because I think people see Tonto and they're like, oh, it's a Tonto. I want a drop point. But there's no difference. It cuts just like a drop point. The only difference is you can actually use it partially like a Tonto. You can use that tip if you want to. But if it's the look, literally all you gotta do is sharpen it like a drop point and it will sharpen into a drop point. I could literally turn this into a drop point in 2 minutes. And literally it would look like it came from the factory like that. Because the way they did this is it's basically a drop point. It's just they just put a tip there that could literally be sharpened out in 2 swipes. But I think the Helix is good. It is like I said, it is a bigger knife, so you're gonna know you're getting a full size big knife. The clip works great. Watch my review because I'll get into real good detail, and I actually got the review coming tomorrow. I think I just got to sharpen it. That's the only thing. I've been using it and cutting with it and everything, but I got to sharpen it. So that's my last thing before I record. Try nano oil 85 weight 10 for, so hold on. Try nano oil 85 weight 10 for pivots. I don't understand 85 weight. So that's the one for the washers, John? The nano oil 85 weight. Am I right? KPL heavy. That's the one I was going to get because I love KPL. KPL is awesome. KPL original is 17 weight oil. So what is the heavy? Any Otf knives, Jared? No, I do not have any OTFs. I do not. I'm sorry. I'm just not one. Most of you guys know I'm a felon. So in Illinois, you cannot walk around with one of those if you're a felon. I used to have my FOID card, but I do not anymore. And when I had my FOID card, I could walk around with it. So I can have one, but to me, it doesn't do me much good if I can't carry it. And it's not that I couldn't carry it, but I couldn't carry it legally. So I just, and let me be clear. I like them; they're okay, but it's not really my style. I like a manual knife. To me, I feel like problems happen at the worst time, right? So I feel like when I need that thing, it's gonna break. I had one back in the day, and it broke on me. I was out. I'm not saying it was a Microtech quality or anything like that, but it wasn't bad. It was decent quality, and I had used it for a couple months, as an EDC knife, and I left for the day. That was my knife, and I went to open it, and something broke. I think a spring broke on the inside. Then it wouldn't open or deploy no more. And to me, it's like that's what would happen to me in a bad situation with one of those things. And I'm not saying that can't happen with other knives, but I feel like a manual knife, there's less parts to fail. and with certain locking mechanisms, it's going to lock up no matter what. I kind of feel like that about Omega springs too, because I've had the same thing happen with Omega springs. Some knives, it's never happened to me on. Like this one, it's never happened. I have other Omega spring knives, it's never failed. And then I have some where I can't stop breaking them on there. But I will say though, when I did replace my own Omega springs instead of Benchmade's, they've done a lot better. And other companies, I've never had them break on. I've only ever had them break on Benchmade. So, but when you buy your own Omega springs, they seem to be built stronger. The Formax is right here. This thing is a beast. Now this is a damn knife. Holy shit, man. Look at the Helix next to it, though. You can see how big the Helix is next to it. I mean, the Helix is, I mean, obviously the Formax is a tank of a knife bigger, but I mean, still you can kind of see, if you can. But yeah, the Formax it's a big knife, man. It's definitely a beast. I wonder if it's bigger than my XM24. It's gotta be, right? Here's my Spartan Harsey. Oh yeah, it's bigger than the 24 because the 24 is just so slightly bit bigger than the Harsey. This thing is getting so smooth. So Quiet Carry sent me a pin for my waypoint. I was hoping that was going to take the rock out, the lock rock out. So if you guys don't know, if you guys didn't watch my review on the waypoint, it has lock rock. Pretty bad. So I tried to bend the lock bar over just a little bit. Not bad, and it didn't help. There was a pin missing back here, which it only has a couple pins holding it together. So I was thinking that was probably going to fix it once I got the pin. They sent me a pin. They actually sent me a couple pins. Thanks, Quiet Carry. And it still there. So I'm going to have to mail it in, have them fix it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not. It's pretty significant. The Actium, yeah, it's 45. I thought it was under 45. I thought it was 40. I thought the Actium, I think it's $39.99. It might be 45. I don't remember. Oh, you know what I got coming, guys? I was hoping it was gonna be here today, but I got the Best Tech Fin coming. That thing looks pretty cool. It looks unique. It's not really my style of knife, but it looks pretty cool. But yeah, this is a damn good knife for $40, $45. I don't care if it was $50. That knife's a good knife. What's up, Kyle? Kyle Landfear's in the house. If you guys don't know Kyle Landfear's channel, slap yourself really quick and hurry up and jump off of here. Go sub to his channel, and you will not be disappointed. He has a great channel, very honest channel, and definitely has a great sense of humor. I love watching his channel. I look forward to when he posts a video. I always click on it, always watch him. Definitely go check his channel out. You getting the Scepter tomorrow, Blade Ogre? Yeah, I thought I had it. Oh yeah, I do got it in here. Yeah, the Scepter's awesome. For a medium, small, I'm going to say small, not even medium. For a small EDC knife, this is a good knife because it's got that very neutral grip. That is small. It's small in the hand. I mean, but it's not meant to be a big knife, right? It's meant to be a little EDC knife, something that's concealable, something that's lightweight. You bust out, you make your cut, you put it back. And for that, man, it's an amazing knife. Great blade shape, man. Multiple forms of deployment. But yeah, and the micarta, I feel like, is a little bit better quality than the way Civivi was doing, because I wasn't happy with Civivi's micarta. Civivi's micarta to me was shit. And it seems like they're doing a little bit better. I would love to see them do what CJRB's doing and get it from the US, because that's what CJRB's doing. That's why CJRB's micarta is so good. Is because the type of resin or whatever that the US uses is really good. Whatever resin they're using just makes better quality micarta. And so that's where they're getting it. And if you guys don't know, Artisan, which is CJRB. That is a USA company. They just have knives made overseas. The owner of Artisan lives in California. So, are you in Canada, brother? Are you talking to me? I'm in Chicago. Yeah, you must be talking to somebody else. Titanium or carbon fiber? Kaiser Genie. I'd go titanium every day of the week. But I'm biased though because I love titanium. I'm actually saving up and moving to Canada. Okay, that I understand now. You're moving to Canada of all places. I got a great deal on a solid piece of land. That's awesome, Kyle. Good for you, man. That's amazing. Good for you. I'm happy to hear that. I love hearing when people are, you know, able to get good deals on things, something that is, helps them grow, whatever. I mean, I know I've heard you on your channel, and I know, your place, the area you're in, kind of like mine, can get pretty hectic at times. So I think that's awesome for you, man. I know I would love, honestly, to move away from where I'm at. I would love to move to Texas or anywhere. Yeah, got the CGRB double coral, my Carta Feldspar loving it. So guess what, guys? You guys probably can't notice, but I'm freshly shaved, right? And you guys knew what I was talking about the other day. If you guys were here, I bought a straight razor. So I got a straight razor and I filmed the first shaving. Now I'm going to sharpen it with a new edge and shave again so that I can get a good experience from it. I don't want to go off of their edge on their straight razor and determine how good it was. So yeah, I know, man, but it's just too good of a deal to pass up, and you can own land outright over there. So Kyle, do they still have to pay taxes on their land over there? Because you said that you own it outright. Does that mean you don't pay taxes? Also, definitely have a problem, but it's a good problem. Love buying knives. That can be a problem, but it is a good problem. I agree. I tested the HRC on my CJRB RIA today, and it was a little higher than I expected for how quickly it loses its edge. HRC was average of 61.5. Wow, that is surprising. And that was on that AARPM 9 steel. 61.5 out of 5 tests. Really? I'll be honest, and I still haven't done my video on it because I lost all my damn videos. Because I literally had an entire video done of cut tests and this and that, and I had to delete it because I wasn't done with it and I wasn't able to post anything. So, anyways, but I'm gonna end up talking about it again. But Eugene Johnson, what's up, Eugene? But I want to talk about the AARPM 9 steel, and I don't. It's funny, man. It's funny, and I know, I said good things about it before, but I obviously at the time had only tried it on one thing, and so that was my experience at that time. And I'm not saying I'm having a bad experience now. I'm saying I'm having a funny experience. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm just gonna have to do a video on it. For a fraction of what it costs in the USA, not to mention the crazy high exchange rate, I have 20,000 saved up, and it's almost 36,000 after conversion. That's amazing, Kyle, man. Good for you. That's awesome. Let me ask you, Kyle, are you still gonna have a channel? Are you still gonna run your channel after you go to Canada? Yeah, yeah, 25 to knife. He says, yes, the ARPM 9, not sure what's going on with that steel. I reground a while back, and it holds the same edge either way. So it's not a burnt edge. Maybe burnt the entire heat treat. I don't know. But I know that I'm not the only one because Outpost 76 did testings on it, and didn't do good at all. Like more like horrible. But this is the thing is that the first one I got, which was a prototype, okay, it was not, I don't have it anymore. It was a prototype. Did great. It really did. Like it even cut through a copper wire, stropped right back, and then continued to cut for a while. Like it was doing good. Then mine, when I got mine in, um, mine doesn't have great edge retention. It does strop back really good. Not as good as that first one though, right? So it hones and strops back beautifully. And I do think that that's a great attribute, if that's the right word, to have in your steel. I think it's great. You know, like you can have super steel that lasts, say, 1,000 cuts, right? But then you can have a budget steel that you can hone and strop back 15 times or 10 times, however long, and last 2,000 cuts. You know, there's benefits to both worlds. But if the edge retention is really bad, like really, really bad, to where you have to constantly hone and strop, then is it, worth it? But then, like I said, I've had some that do good. I've had some that I don't really notice much difference than, say, like a 9CR basically. I don't ever, I'll just say this, I don't ever get D2 performance out of it. I've never gotten D2 performance. D2 definitely has better edge retention than it, in my opinion and through my use. But I don't know, man. Like I said, it's funny to me. Like it's like I can't. It's like I'm trying to catch a big giant worm or something. Like I can't grasp even what I'm trying to say about it, because it's like it just goes so many different ways. Like maybe they're, because it is new, right? It is a new steel. Maybe they're still perfecting it, the heat treat, and they don't quite get the heat treat down. And maybe because it's a powdered steel, maybe the steel just isn't. Maybe some pieces doing good from the heat treat, maybe some are not. Maybe some have burnt edges, maybe some don't. So maybe it's like a three-part thing that's going bad or good. It's hard to say, man. And it's crazy that it tested the 61.5. I would have never thought that. I honestly would have said 56, 57 HRC. That's what I would have thought. The way it strops back and the way it hones back, it seems like a softer steel. That's why I'm saying that. And I'm not saying harder steels don't strop back. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, with the edge retention and the way it drops back. That's what I meant to say. That's what I'm saying about the factory burnt the entire blade, making them so quickly. I didn't test just the flats. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Um, it's I hear them raving about it, here and there, and I know they're taking the word of, respectable people in the community, and I think that's great. But I think they do need to listen to, a source of people, because, like I said, when I had that first one, if I went off of just that, then my impression right now would be incredibly high, and I would have nothing but great things to say. Since I've been through three or four of the ARPM9, I have different things going on, different opinions. Each one has a different opinion. It's I don't know. If you're comfortable with it, you should do a video talking about your felony and knife ownership with the restrictions and gray areas. I honestly, you know what, James, I could care. I am comfortable with that. I don't care. When I made the channel, I had to make a decision on whether or not, because to make this channel, I had to be an open book, because it's public record, right? And at any time, people can just look up. That's the way it goes, especially with felonies and stuff. So it's and I have a pretty long track record. So it's not something I can hide. And so I just figured I'm just gonna. I turned my life around 4 years ago. So it's obviously my past. So I'm not even that same person. at all. Like I'm 100% different person now. So, I have no problem talking about the issues that I went through or had or whatever. Jared, you have a record, brother. I have a pretty long record. Um, James, yeah, I said though that one video or what was it, a couple weeks ago. I said that if you guys want to talk about that stuff, I have no problem talking about it on live. I'll talk about that stuff. I'll talk about whatever. I've told you guys. Thanks, Mr. C. I've told you guys plenty of times, man. I'm not holding back on anything. Just like I said that I would talk about jail experience and all that stuff. But I was thinking about when I said that though. I was sorry. I was talking about like the funny things about like jail. Like I thought it'd be like a funny video, like just to talk about that type of stuff. But I know a lot of people don't know. So that's why I never really do that. I don't want to pull the channel towards an area that only a few people in the channel understand. That's why I went towards more of the humorous, because I feel like everybody understands humor. So regardless if you've been in the situation, you can imagine the humor of the situation. And I'm not saying there's anything, like there's a lot of parts that there's no humor involved, but you can make it funny. I can definitely laugh at some of the dumbass things I've done. Have you considered writing to the governor and getting your record expunged? That is what I did, man. It's hard, but you can do it. I spent years in prison, multiple terms and all. Yeah, when I got off probation, 3 years ago or something like that, 2 years ago maybe, when I got off probation, I tried talking to the judge, and they said I had to come back in 5 years. So they said in 5 years I could come back and talk to him, evaluate it. So in a couple more years, I can go back and possibly, because different states, different rules. So when I talked to them, they had never seen somebody like with my record get it expunged, because I originally had a class 1 and I got it knocked down because of my I actually had a 1, 2 and a 3, which are like the worst ones next to class X. And then I got it dropped down to a 2 and a 3 for completing my probation as good as I did, right? Because at first, like I pled out, right? So I'm sure Kyle, you can plead out to where, like, say, if you plead guilty, then instead of, if you go to court and you get found guilty, you're gonna have a class 1 felony. You can plead out, and then you get, they'll drop it down for you not going through all the hassle. Well, that's what I did, and then because I did, the probation pretty good, it wound up being a class 2 and a 3, yada yada. But they said I had to wait 5 years before I could bring it back to the courts and talk to them about it. So I'm gonna try. I'm definitely gonna try to get it expunged. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. From what I hear, it's very difficult with what I was one of the things I was convicted of. So, just another example. We all have something in our past we are not proud of. I'm sure I've got many. I think Jared is a good example of just how, because you make a bad decision, but still be a good person. Definitely, definitely. I don't think anybody should be judged on their past if they're, making strides to improve. It's not, sometimes it's just a product of your environment. It's not, and you can have a good surrounding, say, foundation, like say family, talking about like a foundation that raises you right, treats you good, and you get your like your what's the word, your morals. You get your morals from them. But then, like the streets, the environment, the city, the people, the gangs, the whatever, right? Kind of send you down and away, right? And you tend to evolve like that. But that doesn't mean you don't still have those good morals. So eventually you might wake up and see like how this shit's for the birds, or maybe you might get locked up or something and realize like, man, I I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing this stuff. And then you can also get lucky, right? Like you can catch cases and just be lucky that you didn't get caught for other things, right? Like I know half the shit that I did, I didn't even get in trouble for. So I am damn lucky. Like I could be doing life. So I don't, I thank God every day that I'm where I'm at, and I'm not a thug. But I do thank God though that I'm where I'm at, and I have, turned my life around, and I think everybody has, like the ability to do that. So I never like to, throw somebody or away a person is or whatever, away and say that they're, unchangeable or whatever. Everybody's changeable. It's just whether or not you can see what you were doing was wrong, or, see, a different side. My brother-in-law got his record expunged in Colorado. He went straight to the gun shop. Yeah, see, I can't do that for 20 years, supposedly, in this state. Because the only way you can do it is after 20 years, you can go to the courts. This is what I read. And I don't know if my case can have that, because certain cases you can't. You can never. Which to me, excuse me, guys, I'm burping. I don't want the microphone to pick it up. I think that's bullshit. I do. I don't think, because, like, okay, so let me be clear. If you go to prison or jail, prison, whatever, get on probation, yada yada, whatever, and you are fresh, like, out, like, still on probation, still on parole, no, I don't think you should be able to, right? But if you've successfully completed jail, prison, whatever, then successfully completed probation, you're on the right track to obviously turning yourself around and being a different person. People have done bad things, like, meaning, like, it was like, you say, a bar fight or whatever, who cares? The point is that shouldn't determine the rest of your life forward. Now, you paid your dues, you paid it in full, and then proved yourself that you've turned your life around. I don't think you should be held from defending yourself and your family. Think about that. You're going to say, like, say if I got into a bar fight, right? Cop comes up behind me, grabs my shoulder, I turn around, I punch the cop in the face because I don't know it's a cop. Now I've got assault against a police officer. I go to jail. I get a year, right? Now I get out. I'm a felon. I can't never get a gun again. And it's a violent charge. So you're telling me I can't protect my family from an intruder because of a random bar fight? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I hate that the system is built like that. And that, to me, is something that we should all be advocating to get rid of. Like, a lot of people say felons should not have guns. That's bullshit to me, because half the population are felons. Like, I know I know old ladies that are felons. Like, that doesn't make sense. And if you knew, like, half the people that walk around in society that have been to jail, been to prison, that whatever, like, for BS, like, the system is built to kind of screw you over. It really is, especially when you get stuck in it. So, like, if I do something, it's so easy to get stuck in the system because, like, say, put it this way, okay, when I first got out of jail, okay, they wanted money every week. I had to do NACASA. NACASA's like a drug program or whatever. I had to do community service. I had to do drops every week, once a week, right? So not every month, once a week. And they could randomly come to my house at any time, and I had a 6 to 6 curfew. All those things every week, right? Plus, they wanted me to have a job. How am I supposed to have a job when I have to complete community service hours? Yeah, they give you a little bit of a window for that, of how long you can, till you're done. But when you're trying to get everything completed for the courts to look good in the courts, they're setting you up to fail. So, like, say if I'm late to work or go across a state line and don't say something or whatever, like, it's so easy to get knocked back down, go to jail again. Now your bond is even more. Like, it's ridiculous that, it's definitely built to keep you in the system once you're stuck in once you're in the system. It's built to keep you in there, for sure. Felons who want to do harm, get them anyway. It's not reformed ones you need to worry about. Right. Anybody who wants to get anybody's going to get them. Like, you don't need a gun or anything like that to do that. And anybody who wants to do harm is going to do harm. It has nothing to do with your rights. Once I got out in my early 20s, I was out for less than a year before I stabbed someone in self-defense. I go into detail about that in my video on the channel after I got out. That time I stayed out. Yeah, I'll definitely go check that out because I don't think I've heard that story. I know I've told a couple stories on here of things that I've been involved in. I try to be careful with some of the things I say because I know some other people sometimes are involved. So usually when I tell stories, I usually tell stories about people that are dead now, so that I'm not bringing anybody alive into it. But yes, prison is a big business, and now I guess something was just signed. Biden just signed a thing for no what is it? No privately owned prisons no more. So I don't know if the old ones can still get funding, but basically no more government funding is going to privately owned prisons. And if you guys don't know, privately owned prisons are the most dangerous ones. They're the ones that have the most problems. Like when it comes to crime, I guess you could say, or let's just say fights, stabbings, killings, everything. They're like 50% more likely to happen there or whatever. Like they just have a lot more problems, and it's because they're understaffed, because they're privately owned. They're not funded completely by the government or whatever, and then they're also more likely to use slave labor and yada yada yada. But supposedly they're not going to be getting any more funding. They set their own rules. Right, they set their own rules and whatever. But either way, man, government ones do the same damn thing. The only difference is they're not not gonna be as exposed because it's a government-owned one. So I took a CCW class and applied for a permit. It got denied because of my record. I went and talked with the sheriff. I had to explain things. He signed my form so I could conceal carry. It doesn't. Here, you can, because, every state's different. Here, you can conceal carry, but it's a separate class. So, like, you have to have a FOID card, and then you have to go and take the concealed carry course, which is like 8 hours. And yeah, and then anybody can carry as long as you have your FOID card first. I used to have mine. There's an organization that helps get your gun rights restored. I just want to say really quick, and I seen there's the I hate pronouncing his name. I know who he is. Cullion Noir video I was talking about. I watch him all the time. Felons are completely, left without nothing. We can have black powdered guns. You can have a black powdered gun, which you can have a 6-shot black powdered gun, perfectly legal. It's not considered a firearm. Anybody can have one. And so that, I think, is what their answer is to if you need to defend yourself here. I think that's their answer, which I think is BS. But, it doesn't matter what I think. I'm not saying that that's not a good thing that you at least still have something, but when you run out of bullets, you're fucked. You're never going to be able to reload that in time to get back into a gunfight. I took the CCW class and had my permit too before the law changed. I live in New York. I got no record at all, but there's just a lot of hoops to jump through to get guns. Yeah, there's a lot of states like that, and I wish it wasn't like that because, on the Second Amendment, it says the rights of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Literally, that's all they do is infringe the right to bear arms. I feel like and I don't mean to go on a rant, but I feel like every fucking little thing, extended mags, bump stocks, whatever you want to come up with, to me, that's infringing on my right to bear arms. I don't give a shit what it is. The reason when that was written was because we were coming out of war, and they were basically making it to where the government can't overcome their people. The people have to have the power over the government. The only way the people can have the power over the government is for the people to bear arms, to have guns. The whole point was for the people to have the same equipment the military has. That's the point. The people are supposed to be just as armed as the military. So when you hear people say, well, it doesn't say you can have this or you can have that, or, why do you need so many bullets? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I could have 10 assailants coming after me and I need to take them all out, and they all got, rifles, whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is, that's my God-given right. I don't need a man to tell me what I can use or not use to defend me and my family. God gave me that right, not a man. So that was the point for our Constitution. Those are God-given rights. So it makes no sense to me when they come up with these little tweaks and little things like to restrict this, restrict that, and they only use those little things to get more leverage on something else, right? It's like they go after one thing that isn't even the problem, because then later on they can say, oh, well, that wasn't even the problem, it was this. Why did we take this? We already took this away, we might as well take this away now because this one was the problem. Kind of like pistols versus ARs, right? They want to come after ARs when pistols do majority of the murders. More people are killed by pistols than ARs. So why would you come after ARs? And they use the term because you can shoot more people, right? Well, that's bullshit, because if you look at statistics, more people are shot by pistols. So once if they ever took the ARs, the next thing would be the pistols, because then they would use the excuse, well, we took those away, but those aren't even the ones killing people. You'd hear that come right out of their mouth literally the day after. Not going to lie, I have done that before. I'm sorry, I got to catch up. I'm fucking ranting. You mentioned someone being over there. Did you whoop a cell phone? And oh man, I got to read this. I'm backed up. Oh man, I missed Max. See you later, bud. I'm sorry. Sheriff in Jarrett's County is probably more left than Big Joe. Yeah. It doesn't hurt to make an appointment with the sheriff. He may give you a pass on the gun. I doubt that, but I don't. Maybe you weren't talking to me about that. You probably weren't. But I have to personally go to court, and I gotta get the judge to expunge my shit. That's the only way I'll ever be able to do anything. Do you, Shane? You like the new look? I don't know if you're talking to me. Ratchford, it's better to think of them as natural rights in that case. Yeah, I don't care if you're talking about God or just natural rights. You can think of it as your maker, right? Like if I shoot you right now, you're meeting your maker, right? I don't care how you look at it. The point is a man doesn't have the right to force or tell another man what to do. That's like me coming onto your land and then saying, listen, you have 10 chickens, you can only own 6, right? You can only own 6 chickens, right? Your blanket on your bed is 3 inches thick. No, you can only have a 1-inch thick blanket. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I shouldn't be able to tell you what to do or not do, so you shouldn't me. And I think and that's what this country was founded on. That's the point of a free country. But we're slowly but surely, giving up these little tiny fraction of rights that lead to big things. And people need to realize that. I really think that. I don't care what side of the fucking fence you're on. I think that's irrelevant. I think that is 100% irrelevant. I think we all want the best interest for the people, right? And the best interest for the people is to have the least amount of government involved with the people. You don't want, everybody thinks the government's corrupt. Nobody thinks the government's good. I know what side of the party thinks the government is good and that a politician tells you the truth. Who the fuck thinks that? So why would you want those people controlling your life and telling you what to do? If you don't trust them and you know they lie, why the fuck would you want that? Try having a 1-inch mattress. I know all about a 1-inch mattress. Oh, fuck. Shit, I DuPage, if whoever doesn't know, I'm in the Chicago area. DuPage is right here. And I got locked up in DuPage one time. And I was going to get transport because I had a warrant somewhere else. Okay, so I had a warrant, and DuPage caught me. I was flying down the fucking highway going like 100 miles an hour, and I rolled a car like 9 times. Wound up getting arrested because of the warrant. That I had been running from the cops for a couple months at this point. A few months probably. But anyways, so they finally got me, and stupid me. Anyways, so I got locked up in DuPage until till I got transported, because then you get transported to the next county. And in there, man, I guess they had me because since I was getting transported, I was in a excuse me, basically psych unit, like just basically a personal cell, like nobody's in there with me or anything like that. Basically like the hole, you would think of it like that. And oh my god, it was so fucking disgusting. There was shit and feces and everything coming up from the sewer. The whole ground is covered. You don't have shoes, you have flip flops. That's what they give you, flip flops. And it's so bad. Like, I can see the mold growing on it because it hasn't been cleaned. And I'm screaming, I'm freaking out. Like, I'm so mad because I want them to take me out to take a shower. They refused. They would not give me a shower. And this had been like 3 days. And I seen this little bitch, this little girl kick one of the doors down because, okay, so I had like a little window and I could see I can only see one door, but I'm saying I could see down a hallway and see a door. I kept hearing this banging, bang, bang, bang. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm looking out my little window, and this little girl is kicking this door. She finally kicked it open. She got it open. I couldn't believe it. Next thing I know, I'm looking at this little girl running by. And I don't mean like a child. I just mean she wasn't big. So I'm like, fuck it. If she can get out, this little 80-pound girl, I can damn sure get out. So I keep telling them, let me out, or let me out, let me take a shower, clean my room, my cell, or I'm kicking the door down. Like, that's just all it is. And I said, I timed it. Like I said, I'm giving you 5 minutes basically to come give me a shower and clean my cell, or I'm kicking the door on. In 5 minutes, I started kicking that door. And this place is so messed up. They do not take you seriously. Like, I was in another place. If you kick your door, they're going to come beat your ass. This place wasn't like that. They don't care. They don't care nothing. You can scream, holler, bang, bitch, don't matter. They do not care. So I'm kicking this door, this thick ass door, and I'm kicking it and kicking it and kicking it and kicking it. And I don't know how many times I kicked it, probably 200 times, I don't know. But about 200, 500 kicks in, whatever, my foot's all messed up, and I'm doing everything, and they still haven't come. And then it started cracking. And I'm guessing they're chasing that little girl anyways, right? By this point, they're probably chasing her around. But it starts cracking, though. Like, I can hear it. It's about to break open. And they come running. They come running. And they come and let me out, but they don't give me a shower. They transport me. Oh, I was so mad because now I'm still filthy. I'm still nasty. And now I'm getting transported to another jail. Oh, so disgusting. Oh, I appreciate it. Kyle, there's a few good online sources within Canada for knives, so you don't have to worry about them getting stopped coming into Canada. Hey, question. So if you're mailing something to Canada, does it help if you just take it apart? So like if I mailed this knife, any knife, if I mailed the handle and the blade separate, does that make it in? Like as long as it's taken apart? Or do they still take it because they know what's going on? I've always wondered that. What's up, EDC Journey? You probably been in here for a while. I've been ranting, so and talking. Kyle, the only issue is ordering knives into Canada. If the supplier does ship, it's then in the hands of customs. Right. So that's what I've heard so much of, that they stop it at customs and they won't let it through. They confiscate it. But I've heard, like I said, I haven't had experience, but I've heard that from people that they say they take the knife apart and they send the parts and then they send the blades separate, and a couple of people I've talked to said they never have a problem as long as they do it like that. But when they send it all in one knife, then it always gets taken and confiscated. I've got a customer knife I'm sending back to Canada tomorrow. He says disassembly does work. Okay, so Richie just said he's sending one back to a customer, and he's saying he's going to disassemble it and do it. Yeah, and Kyle saying the same thing. Always disassemble when shipping to Canada. Yeah, when you do move to Canada, I'm sorry if I missed it when you said you were going. Do you have a time when you're going? Where are you triple C? Wait, hold on a second. Hey Jared, were you triple CMS brother? That is the only thing I know to be housed with both genders. No, what it was no, I was, like I said, this was a I was only being held for transport. I wasn't being held indefinitely. They were just holding me until my county came and got me. So they had me like down in, I've never been to this place. This was DuPage County. And the it's basically like, I guess what you would think of as the hole. Like it's single cells, only one bed, and you have one window and you can see out. So all I could see was the door. And maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it just looked like a girl. Like I said, I seen her kicking, I seen her come out of the door and then run past my window. So I could be wrong. Maybe it was a dude that looked like a girl. But she looked like she was 80 pounds. But that's what I thought. That's what I've always thought in my head, was that it was a girl. I didn't, maybe I heard her voice at the time. I don't remember now why I've always thought it was a girl, but pretty sure it was. This is probably a unit that they can keep them right there, because like I said, I'm being transported. I'm not being kept there. Learn something new every day. You didn't know that. Jared, I don't know if you saw the messages, but everyone thinks the mic sounds good. Awesome, awesome. I'm happy to hear that, because I've been the first few videos, like I did practice videos, and it did not sound good. Like it had an echo to it. I had to turn it. I originally had it on that side. I turned it to this side. Like I've done a bunch of different things to adjust. Now I have blankets hung all around me. Like if you guys look right here right now, there's a blanket hanging. There's a blanket hanging here. I'm trying to bring down the echo. So I'm hoping from here on forward, it only gets better and better. By the end of the year, I'm just stacking money right now. I made the down payment, so it's mine. But the exchange rate is so high that it's just smarter to work out here while paying off the rest. That's smart, Kyle. Yeah, definitely do it smart. And if like you said, if the exchange rate is that high, then it's only smart, right? It'd be kind of dumb to do it the other way. So that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you, man. What mic is that? So this is a Rode something. I'd take this thing off. It's small. It's about this big, and it's just a tube. It's the micro something. Rode micro something. It's easy to find. If you type Rode micro microphone, it'll pop up. But it's good quality though. And the thing with this one is that it it picks up the sounds around, so it's not the kind that you get up close to or anything like that. So it works in like an area like this where technically I could move it a little bit away or back it up or anything like that, and it'll still pick up my voice. My other option was the one that you put right here in front of your face, which would be perfect for this, but wouldn't be perfect for my other things. Do you know what I mean? And I also have a lapel mic coming one that I can attach. So when I'm walking around, you'll still hear me just the same as if I never moved. That's the one I was hoping was going to come first, but it's not going to be here for like a month now. But they're not that bad though. I think this thing was like $60, so not too bad. And then I got the mount, which was like $50, something like that. But it's a good quality mount. This mount is really good. I can feel like it just feels really good. There's no springs or anything like that. So yeah, I did have one with the fast opening and closing thing. And that was another thing, was that what I wanted, because I wanted the mic. I don't want one. This is my point of where I was talking about why it's a good one, because I didn't want one that would pick up my voice but then not pick up the action. I wanted one that would do both. The thing is, though, is that this is attached to the table that I'm hitting my elbows on. I need to set it up where I have a thing right here or wherever that's unattached to the table, which I have things. I'm going to figure it out. Where if I hit the table right now, the microphone doesn't vibrate. So I'll figure that out as time goes on. I was thought about hanging it from there and scooting closer to that, but I'm going to figure something out. But I wanted the sounds of the knives to stay in the video. Like, and if I'm talking, I want them both. If I come down here, you can still hear it. There's two different kinds of mics. I forget the names. There's two different names. The one is this style, and then the other one's the other style. The other style, if I flick the knife over here, you wouldn't hear it. You have to be like this, right up close to the mic for it to pick you up. I like those. Those are technically the best because they're good for podcasts, they're good for lives, so on and so forth, because they don't pick up the background sound. So it only focuses on your voice and it's nice and clear. It takes all the other noises out, which is amazing. This one picks up all the noises around. So that's the downfall to it. But it also works out for me to flick knives, because I like having the sounds in the video of what I'm doing. What took you down the dark path that led to prison and such? A lot of things, man. My brother died in my arms. My dad got paralyzed. I was taking care of my dad for 13 years. I was just around a lifestyle my whole life. Like, I was raised around people, and just people that were lawless. They didn't know law. Like, law didn't mean anything, and it was just normal. So, like, things that were normal to me were actual criminal activities that I wouldn't know, like, would never be in my opinion or thoughts of as a crime. And you grow up like that, and it's just normal behavior. And I started doing drugs after my best friend, my brother, died in my arms, and it just it sent me down a path. And that was the second one. I've had like 5 more than that. I've had a lot of friends die, a lot, probably 10. I've had best friends die. The first best friend I had die was when I was 13, 14. Actually, the first time I got arrested was with him. But anyways, I've had friends get murdered. I had a friend get murdered leaving my house. Just left my house. Fucking got shot in the head for a fucking cell phone. But just I don't know, just shit like that. And then when my dad got hurt, I was taking care of him, and my dad, he was a wild one. He was a very lawless, like you could call him an outlaw. How about that? He was like an outlaw. So, or whatever you want to call it. Some people might even call him a gangster, right? So that was just the way he was. So that's the person I was raised by. And he had me doing things that you probably shouldn't have your kid doing, or no, not probably, you shouldn't, you shouldn't have your kid doing. So I had a lot of influence from my father, but you do the things your dad says. You do anything your dad says, especially like when they're in the situation that he wound getting them, getting into, being paralyzed and everything. You're gonna do right by your dad and take care of him and take care of people, and take care of business and blah 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 blah, whatever you got to do to make things work. So it's just a lifestyle, man. Yeah, I feel you, Kyle. Same here, man. Same here. And that's why, like, when I turned to the knife community, I had to make that decision, right? Because it was the exact opposite. And I thought about, like, man, I don't belong there, right? Because I grew up, cameras are dangerous, right? You don't, a microphone like that's something you would never catch me being in being recorded. Nothing. So like that's the exact opposite of what I was used to. So I had to make that decision, like, am I gonna be willing to be open, I guess, about it? And then not just that, are they going to accept me, right? Like, because you think like that, you the back of your head, things like that. Like, that's not, like, you think you know deep down that everybody's the same. A lot of people are the same, but you worry about the way people are going to look at you, think of you, yada yada yada. And it's something that like, I honestly would never even see myself doing this, but having growing this family here, or being welcomed into the family here, it was awesome because at the time when I started it, I had just gotten off probation. I had just gotten off probation and was trying to turn my life around. So getting off intense probation after a couple years, and I might have even still been on probation, I don't even remember, but the point is that I was looking for something. I was looking for different. I left all the bad shit, turned away from it, and was starting a new life, and I wasn't trying to have any reason to get sucked into it. So the knife thing, took everything from me, like, and gave me something back. Like, I loved it. And it kept me out of getting in trouble, hanging out with the wrong people, whatever you want to call it. But it's definitely, like, helped me, I guess, get to where I'm at, because it'd been really easy to just go fuck off, but I was just done with it, and you have to do that. Like, I feel like even though, like, you might not even be that far away, you got to distance yourself, like, when you're going to change yourself and turn yourself around. Not saying you have to, but I feel like it's kind of good to. It's good because, like they say, if you want me to show you your future, or if you want me to tell you your future, show me your friends, right? If you want, you guys understand, right? If you want to see your future, look at your 3 closest friends, because the people you surround yourself by are exactly who you're going to be. So I wanted to surround myself with different, I couldn't expect to be different if I'm surrounding myself with a bunch of fucking gangsters and drug dealers and whatever, so it, and I'm not talking shit about nobody, I love everybody knows I still have their back, whatever, it's, I'm always down to ride, but damn it, it's, sometimes you do got to worry about yourself. People that don't understand our community are always like, you collect knives. That's so true. That's so true. But it is a family, though. It is a tight-knit group. And I honestly think, in my opinion, it's the best one out there. You're never going to find, like, I don't know what other communities there are, but whatever communities there are out there, I guarantee they're not as tight as the knife community. So I think that's awesome. I love all the people, how close we are, how tight we are, how giving and how we take care of each other and donate to each other's things. Like, I couldn't tell you how many people I've donated to. How I've donated to people just because a friend knew them and said something happened and then asked if I could help support. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just the way we are. And I think that's amazing. That's how we should be. If you come from a world of chaos, once you finally step into the world of trust and comfort, it's unbelievable feeling. I 100% agree, Poncho, and it is a different thing, you know. And like me and Kara, we've talked about it, you know. Like there's always going to be behaviors and things that are just embedded in you that you'll never be able to shake ever. But it feels good, like seeing and knowing certain things, right? Like say even like say walking outside. They say the difference between living in a bad neighborhood and a good neighborhood. Walking outside and seeing kids playing outside, seeing women jogging, you know, seeing kids leave their bikes. You know what I mean? Like compared to never seeing that type of stuff, like it's a big difference. So it does make you you know, feel good about that. And you know, even like just with friends and trust and all that stuff. Not saying I didn't have trust before, because I did have a lot of trust. You know, there was a while there where I didn't, but that's because I was going really bad. But most of my life I was very, very trusted. But it's just what are you trusted for, right? What are the things that you're trusted to do? You know what I mean? Um, I feel bad about never donating. I just don't have the money, so I try to donate. No, yeah, man, don't ever feel bad for not donating. You know, like everybody's budget's different, man. I've been, trust me, bro. I've been so broke, so poor, dude. I never would ever like think that about anybody like that that can't afford to donate. I mean, shit, man. I couldn't tell you how broke I've been before. Shit. So it's never like never compare somebody's pocket to somebody else's. Never do that. Everybody has something to give. It doesn't have to be money, you know. So I definitely don't ever hold that from against somebody because they can't or don't donate. It's something that it's awesome when people can, you know, because it does help. But if you can't, it doesn't mean I'm gonna treat you any different. And you know that, man. We've been friends for a long time. The knife community is the bomb. You gotta love the knife community. It's you know, I never knew this community was so big and so awesome. Like when I first got into I guess what you could say, dipping my feet into the knife community, watching the channels and chatting with a couple people. I didn't even know at that time. Like I was talking to people that were already tight knit and friends. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't realize like you're talking to people that already know all the other people, and like it's crazy how involved everybody is, and how you'll see like these people on this channel and these people on this channel, and everybody sticks up for each other and takes care of each other. And that's what's awesome, because there's so many communities out here that are cutthroat. And I love that this community isn't like that, because that's not the way it should be. We should all be supporting each other, shouting each other out, and building each other up. And by doing that, you know, everybody wins. But by being cutthroat, everybody loses, you know. And at the end of the day, you just, you know, you wind up being a piece of shit. Yeah, it's almost a year now. I was the first moderator, and I was like, dang, you trusted me that much? Yeah, exactly. But, you know, like, we had already been chatting and talking and, you know, for so long. And you feel like you do grow a relationship. What's up, Alex? Alex's Knife Box. Go check his channel out. What's up, brother? Yeah, definitely wasn't easy, and I appreciate that, Campbell. It was some people refer to it as like war, you know, and I'm not trying to insult anybody who's been through war, but you know, it's a good way to put it. You know, you feel like that. You feel like, you know, you put yourself through that, especially physically and mentally. I don't know what I walked into. We were talking about pasts and bad behaviors. Thanks, S2K. Dropping knowledge tonight. Mike sounds great, bro. Thank you. Sorry I keep knocking it with my chair. It all goes to the cause. Don't really matter who it comes from, right? Great show. Always love. Much love. Thank you, man. Love you too. We appreciate that. Yeah, we really do. And I hope the mic does sound good because, like I said, I'm going to rewatch this and re-listen to it, at least some of it. And I usually listen to the whole thing, though. And I usually go back through and read comments again a little bit because I miss some, especially when I'm ranting. But I want to see like what the difference is, like say if I have the mic here, and then say if I push it over here, or whatever, like I want to know the differences and how it's going to be. What is the best setup? How can I make it perfect? I saw some other little tips and tricks from people that already have it and tested them, and they were showing me little tiny things that could help improve the quality. But yeah, I do think it sounds so much better than before. But the first couple videos I did with it, because I've dropped a couple videos with it right now, probably didn't sound the best. You hear a little bit of an echo and this and that, but I think it's going to start doing good. I'm going to get some better sheets. Right now I just got, some closet blankets, but I'm going to get some professional, what are they called? They're called something. I forget what they're called, but they're for sound. The 1000% better to me. It's balanced. It's not low when blasted. How do knives sound? That's one thing. That's I want. Like, do knives sound? Let me get another one. Awesome. This one has a good sound. Well, usually. One thing is that there were so many times where I would talk about the sounds of a knife, then I'd go back and re-listen to it, and you can't even hear it because what it sounds like to me doesn't sound like to you. And that's another thing I wanted to capture with a good mic was that sound quality because it's so, to me, personally, I love the sound of a knife. I could literally, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I could literally be watching a video about a knife and be like, yeah, I'm not so sure, man. And then all of a sudden I hear chink, and I hear chink, and it's like, oh, fuck, man, sold. Sold. Give it to me now. I want it. Just because I heard that pop, that. Not saying this one has it, but you guys know what I mean. This one's not a bad sound, though. This one still sounds good. But that mechanical sound, that real hard built, real strong, where you hear the lock up. Or even think about this like a Medford or something, where you hear the crack of the lock. Or like another knife where maybe it's I don't know, a ball lock, and you can hear the metal. I just love it. Yeah, let's get the Formax out. Let's see how that lock sounds. Yeah, that pop. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, when you hear that stuff, it's like, to me personally, man, I'm like, yup, sold, man. Give me two of them. This thing, man, I said this earlier, man, this Spartan has gotten so smooth. So smooth. Yeah, integrals do, the, what is it, the Anthem. That thing has a really cool sound, 25. That thing, it's got that mechanical chink, metal on metal sound. It just sounds amazing. There's a few integrals that really, really sound good. Do I have anything else now I want to talk about? Ah, fuck it. But yeah, even... my Snafu has the best pop ever in team closing. Right. Yeah, the Snafu definitely had... That's another one There's a lot of them out there that have a really, really cool sound. But then there's some that they sound cool, but not compared to some of them other ones. And to me, like when I hear that and somebody has a good microphone, I'm sold. Like I've literally have fell in love with a knife just because of that damn sound. And like I'll go onto somebody else's channel and I'll be listening for it, you know. And if they don't have a good mic, I won't hear it. But sometimes like I'll still pick it up a little bit. It's just not as good. This one doesn't have. It's okay. It's got a unique sound for itself. This one sounds pretty cool though. Sorry, just got my Spyderco bench stone. There's a chip in it, and I now gotta send it back and hope the next one doesn't have a chip. So I'm annoyed about that. But I had this live to look forward to. Man, that sucks. But hey, man, at least you're gonna get a new one because you definitely don't want a chip in one of those stones. So it's good you sent it back. So be happy that you sent it back. Because the worst thing that could have happened is you kept it. All right, send it back, get a new one. Because they're so hard. You don't want to drop them. That's one thing. Because it's just like dropping a plate. If you know the ceramic, it'll shatter. But so you don't want it chipped. Later, Jeremy. Sorry if you already left out. Actually, your videos pick up good. Love the ting of the Kaiser. Yeah, that one has a good ting. You're right. The XL sheepdog. So my sheepdog doesn't have a ting like that, but it still sounds good. But no, I know that XL sounds real tingy. I like the hard clunk of my Spartan. I like the clunk of the Spartan too. I like that pop from the lock. It really, you can hear the lock engaged, especially if I. Sometimes when I slow roll it, the lock really pops. It only happens like 1 out of 10 times or so, but there you go. Did you guys hear that? It has a loud pop. Like you really hear that lock engage. Smells like a communist version of Canada. Does anyone like the Brian tie design? I don't mind them. I'm not a fanboy. Kara hates them. Speaking of sounds though, this Helix sounds really good. Do you guys ever notice? I'm sure you guys do. If you're holding the clip, the knife sounds different than if you're not. Like it's because the vibration comes up and out of the knife, and the ting. I mean, this one doesn't really do it, but a lot of knives do, and they have like a ting that comes out of the clip. That if you're holding the clip, doesn't happen, and I've just noticed that on a lot of knives. Like if I really want the sound to amplify, try to not touch the clip, and it really has that sound come through. Some of them are different. This one, the Waypoint, which I'm sending back, this one has a loud pop every once in a while that really, it's kind of hard to explain. It's almost like when I misfail it and it goes like that, like where it almost deploys, and then did you hear that? That's when it happens. It's kind of weird how that happens because if I just open it, it doesn't do it. But if I miss it and I almost don't deploy it, which is hard to do, and then I didn't do it that time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you guys know what I mean. Slow likes tonight. Yeah, nobody's liking us tonight. Maybe it's because we had the controversial jail and felony talk tonight. Yes, spring resonates on. Wait, Mr. C. Thank you. I'm 58 and don't have any real friends left. Life takes them away, man. I hear you, man. One by one until you're living with a parrot. You have a great wife who loves you. Always remember never to take her for granted. I never do, man. I have a damn good woman, and I am very blessed for that. I think it's a blessing to have people in general, friends, family. I do have a big family. I'm blessed for that, um, and I've lost a lot of friends, and couldn't even tell you how many. I've lost so many friends. Every time I turn around, I'm losing another one, and it's sad. It is sad, but life goes on. That's life, man. Life's for the living. So, but yeah, I know what you mean, man. Um, and the community's definitely been a great place for that. Ask me what I spaced out and started writing. Damn it, Kyle. Nice. I like the good. I usually use them as a secondary. Kara is a great wife. I admire how she supports your interests. Like the child. Yeah, she definitely does. We have that both we try to support each other in whatever each other likes. I even said this like in the beginning, like whatever makes her happy, I'm gonna be happy for that. I'm never jealous. I don't like, that because being jealous only hurts your relationship and makes people be dishonest, and it it winds up sparking a fire that winds up exploding in the end. So it's never good. You should definitely cherish the things that they want to do. Let them, like even like with friends or anything. Like I love that. I want nothing but her to enjoy herself and be happy. I'm never upset if she doesn't want to do a live. I never I'm so happy that I have a woman that supports what I do and understands. Like she understands, like my relationship with you guys, my relationship with the channel, how I've set a goal to do, not gonna miss one. She never holds it against me, right? Like there's things she wants to do, and I'm like, man, I gotta do a live. She doesn't get upset, and I love that about her because, fuck, I've had some girls in the past that shit wouldn't fly. It would not. They'd come up with every fucking excuse to get upset. So I love that. I don't have that anymore. It's good to have healthy relationships. Did you see the two modern traditionalists? Triple E did a video about. You know what? I didn't see it. I seen it, but I didn't see it. You know what I mean? I seen it pop up, but I didn't see it. All the knife talk inspired me. No idea if this is any good though. Opinions. What? All the knife talk inspired me. No idea if this is any good though. I'm curious what we're talking about, Kyle. Are you talking about your writing? Okay, a fire furnace, a forge through tongues of cleaning. Oh wait, sorry, of cleansing flame. You are born. A creek, a river, a lake. Through nature's tepid stream, you take your true shape. A glint, a sparkle, a reflection honed in. Diamond stone, you embrace your resurrection. Rebirth takes shape from the will of a steady hand. Materials gifted by the gods, yet refined by the hands of man. That's amazing, Kyle. I didn't even know you were a writer like that. I don't know if you've ever said that on your channel, but that's awesome, man. You should. I don't know if you do this because I don't think I've ever heard you read anything like that on your channel. Now I'm curious why you don't. Why you don't write stuff and then like read it at the. Think about it. So like me personally, I got channels that I actually go to like for inspiration talk or like it's kind of like a motivational stuff. I think that stuff's good. I think that stuff's awesome. I think it's good to have places to get motivation, get whatever. But you can write that stuff and go like at the end of your channel have like an inspiration poem or speech or talk. It doesn't even have to like rhyme or anything. Just you know you know what I mean, like a motivational little talk like at the end of a video or something like that. I guarantee people would love it. I guarantee people would love it. People probably fast forward to the end of the video just to listen to it. Yeah, man. If it's something like that, because just the fact that you picked it up and did it now means that you got it in you to do it. If like right now we're sitting here talking, sitting here, doing the live. You're sitting here listening, and you thought of picking it up and writing. So that means you got it in you to want to do it. I guess it's just whether or not you have the motivation to do it all the time, or if it's that loud, I guess, in your mind to want to do it. But if it is, it's a thought. I guarantee it would help inspire other people. I write too, but I'm more into short stories and novels, working on a story about city siege and war from the perspective of civilians. That's badass. How big's a short story? Like 20 pages or something? I don't read much, so sorry if I'm ignorant to that. Oh, I write all the time, brother. I just decided to share this since I did it while listening to you rant. Awesome, man. I appreciate it. To be honest, I appreciate you sharing it, because I think anybody, like a lot of people that would do that, wouldn't share it. So I appreciate that you even shared it. I think that's awesome. I really love to hear that stuff from your videos too. I think that'd be amazing. Share that stuff. I think we all have stuff to share, and I think a lot of men, especially, not no knock to women, but I think men especially hold it, like they don't share it, right? They keep it from the world. Like they have these things they have in their mind, their demons or whatever, but they don't expose them. They leave them inside there, and they don't share it. They don't show it, and we shouldn't do that. We should be. And I'm not talking about being a beta or a bitch. I'm talking about in an alpha way, be a little more outgoing, and because it inspires other people to do it. I think sometimes a way to get somebody else the bravery and the balls to do something is by you doing it. Is you do it and you show them that people do enjoy it or whatever. It just depends on the subject, but I think it's good for you to do stuff like that. There's someone I watch named someone I watch named Even Shanks, who does a similar thing. He gives really cool life advice, and at the end of all of his videos, that's awesome. I like stuff like that. I think novels start at like 150 pages or something. It's more of how long the story goes. I see what you mean. I'll be honest, I didn't know there was a difference between a novel and a story. Like I said, I don't read books. I don't read books. I'm a dumbass when it comes to that, I guess you could say. Otf Knives, it's in my cart, so if I ever get that cash, I'll definitely be getting one. I got 1 or 2 knives on the way right now that I purchased. I said it earlier, I got the Best Tech Fin. The SOCOM's right here. I got it. Always got the doggone SOCOM. Yeah, this is a badass knife right here. This is one that has good acoustics too. Yeah, this thing's a beast. This thing has a good crack. I hope that's not too loud in the mic. Now I think about it, it's probably so loud, it's crazy. Also need to head out soon. My lady is coming over at 7:30. Yeah, bud, I'm about to take off too. I'm going to do about 5 more minutes. I didn't realize it's been so long. So 5 minutes, I'm out. I just started doing poetic captions on my Instagram photos. Actually, I don't think people believe that. I actually write them myself. I guarantee they don't. I guarantee they don't. And you know what you should do? At the end of it, you should sign your name. Like, write. How, like when you are reading a poem from somebody else, at the bottom of it, you'll say, Martin Luther King or whoever. You should do that. Let them know it is you. Put your name on that shit. Do you not like books because you'd rather be doing something else, or is it too difficult to read and just never? Yeah, it's more of a difficulty. I obviously I can read. I have a difficulty. So like if it's a book I have read before, like when I was younger, and there's been a few books that I was so deep interested in, I read the whole thing. But I have a problem with following along. Like I'll read an entire page and then try to remember what I read, and I ain't got a clue. I ain't got a clue. Now give me something I'm interested in. I'll remember everything. Like it's, I don't know. It's an issue with me, but it's not that I have anything against them or anything like that. It's me being able to remember what I read. Now, like I said, like say if I was reading, like I used to be into reptiles a lot. I used to have a lot of reptiles, like all kinds of monitors and snakes. I've had a lot of different animals. And at the time, I used to get all kinds of books. I had stacks of books all about reptiles, and I could remember everything, and I could even keep it for a long time, like remember every little detail. But then I could take a book, say Shakespeare, and read a page and not remember any of it, none of it. Maybe I'm thinking while I'm reading, I don't know. I got really into photography recently and really sparked the writing bug again. Yeah, I'm getting like that bug like with these videos and the video quality, because I feel like I'm on like that transition where like, and I am getting in a little bit into photography, which Kara's definitely helped me on, like with lighting and this and that. And I've watched a few videos on learning stuff, so I'm definitely not good, but I'm learning, and it's for Instagram to help grow the channel. That's what it's for. So, and also it's for when I'm doing my recordings and videos. Sometimes I take pictures of the edge, or I take pictures of what I'm talking about. So when I say, oh, the multi-row bearings, right? So then I take the bearings and I take a picture of them. Well, the better quality that picture is, the better my video is, if you know what I mean. So in that sense, I'm getting into photography and I'm getting into recording videos, and I love it. So I'm hoping through this year, through 2021, that by the end of the year, you don't even recognize, not meaning like that the videos are different or the content's different, but just quality-wise. That the quality is so much better that you can't even compare it to my old content. That's what I'm hoping for. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, bud. Transitioning into transgender? What the fuck are you talking about? Am I transitioning? Ha! Oh, that's hilarious. Let's see, Kyle. Great live, bro. Definitely hit home, at least with me and sure many others. Thanks for being open, especially going what you've been through. I'm working on that myself. Hold too much in. It's in my culture. I know what you mean, Benjamin, man. It's in mine too, man. It's definitely in mine too. I know exactly what you mean. I hold a lot of stuff in too. I still have a lot of issues. Like, fucking, there's a lot of shit I don't even talk about. Like, I got PTSD. I got sleep paralysis. I get a lot of issues, man. Fuck, I just had to start doing this thing that I have to do once a week through this thing I go to that I've never talked about on here. Maybe I'll talk about it one day. But yeah, it's a journey, man. Everybody's got a next level in life, and it's just your journey, and growing and taking care of yourself mentally and physically, because you should care about your mental your physical fitness, and just growing and prospering. You want to know in the future when you look back that you're like put it this way, like what would your future self tell you, right? You want to make sure that your future self is talking to you right now and you're doing what your future self is telling you. Like I want to know the 6-year-old me is talking to me right now and I'm doing what he's saying. I don't want to be 60 looking back like, man, I wish I could go back and tell that motherfucker not to do that shit. Because right now that's what I think about myself as at 25. Right? I think about like, man, if I could just go kick myself in the ass. But you know, you can't. You can't take things back. Life goes on, life keeps going. So try to think about what that 80-year-old person, 100, whatever, the deathbed person would say to you. You know, I don't care how old you are, how young you are, there's always room for improvement. I don't care if you have 6 weeks left to live. Doesn't matter. Then them 6 weeks, then you should be working on that. Especially if you're religious. Jerry Springer says, take care of yourself and each other. Yes, he does. And I am about to head out. Just ask Jared some sharpening questions if you want extra time. Seems logical, son. No, just seeing if you were here. I was going to ask a question for you. And logical, but there isn't enough time. Ask a question. I'll stick around for another minute or two. I mean, Kara's playing her game. I honestly don't have anything to do. But I don't know what happens after a certain amount of time because it sometimes cuts off. So I don't even know how much battery I have left. This microphone works off my battery. So to be honest, we could end at any time. And I won't even, it'll just stop. That's true, Shane. That's a good statement, too. Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. That's a good one. I like that one. I'm going to get that as a tattoo. Hey, Jared, how the hell do you sharpen a seatbelt cutter? I was looking at one and was like, how the fuck? You get I know you're being sarcastic right now, but I'm going to tell you anyways. There's actually a couple different ways, but like my Work Sharp Ken Onion has a seatbelt like cutter sharpener on it. So like the gut hook. Same thing with the gut hook. You sharpen it the same way. You can use the best way, I think, in my opinion, is you get a thin piece of leather and just get aggressive compound, like a low grit compound, like a diamond compound, and strop it. And it'll sharpen it. It'll literally remove steel. Like some of that Veneve diamond compound I have, hell, I can sharpen a knife stropping on that stuff. I was going to ask if we could nominate a new mod, but I think Kara might need to be here. Yeah, how about we do that on Saturday? We will nominate a new one. We'll take, what the hell's the word for it when you're getting a job? What the hell's it called? Come on, guys. You guys are supposed to help me with this. Not reservations, but resumes. We'll take resumes on Saturday. 104 likes? Hell yeah. Yeah, an interview. Right, we'll take interviews and resumes. Exactly. Interviews and resumes on Saturday. So don't forget your resume on Saturday. And if don't forget to show up on time to the interview. You don't want to be late to your interview. That'd be a real bad way to become a moderator. But when you're talking about Neeves Knives lives, it might be the way to it might be just the way to become a moderator. Oh, he was late? Oh shit. I was watching this thing the other day and it was just like a funny thing. And the guy, like these people were showing up for a job and he's sitting there and he's got his pen or whatever. And the first guy shows up and he's like, yeah, I just got out of jail and, I'm not going to be able to make it on Fridays. I got probation. And the guy's like, the guy says, he's like, oh, yeah, no problem, no problem. He's like, I'm also going to need a ride. He's like, yeah, no problem. One of the guys will come pick you up. Then another guy comes and shows up and he's like, yeah, I got 2 years of college. And he goes, get the fuck out of here. And then another guy shows up and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I've been drinking all night and this and that. And he's like, oh, it's no problem. We all got hangovers. Basically, it was a construction job. And he was saying, like, they want roughneck, hard-hitting motherfuckers, not some some college educated people. But I thought it was hilarious because it's literally how a construction site is. That's exactly how it is. They want to know that you have basically a past and you have rough hands and that you can take the heat basically. Dawn says hi.
I was waving.
Okay, I didn't know if you could see it from there.
You know what's funny? Is it's like 9:40.
I know, I'm getting off. I already told them I'm done. All right, guys, I'm taking off. I love you guys. Oh, on Saturday, we're going to take some resumes and
I am ready for bed. I'm in a robe.
I know. We're going to take resumes for a new moderator. So they got interviews. They got interviews on Saturday.
That's my department.
That's why I said wait till
I'm
Saturday.
moderator HR.
I said wait till Saturday. I didn't say I was doing it.
So do I get to fire one of the current ones? Like, is it a
No,
replacement?
we just need a new one.
We
need an extra.
I think we should do like battle.
We need an extra.
Like a battle royale of mods and like make them fight for their spots, fight to the death. Let's do a fight to the death.
We could do something like that, but I was thinking
I'm blocked by this microphone.
Well, don't grab it. It'll make. But just in case if some of these guys are on vacation or need some vacation time. It has to be somebody
though. To be fair, one of the opening qualifiers, it has to be somebody who typically comes to pretty much every live.
Yeah, that's definitely a good qualification, knowing that you motherfuckers show up. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Do you want to sing or no? No?
Wait.
You want to look something up?
I don't have my phone.
To the death, Russ says. Yeah, she's got to sing her song. We can't end without the song. I thought I was going to have to sing tonight. Nope.
Did I already do Welcome to the Jungle? I've done that before.
I didn't. Did you?
I think so.
I don't know about that.
I think I've done it. Fuck. Help.
Okay. Sing. Wow, dang.
I don't know the words.
Okay, sing, Born to be wild. Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
I think I've done Stairway to Heaven, but fuck it.
Stairway to Heaven.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. I'm skipping parts. And she's buying the stairway to heaven. That's it.
All right.
Thank you.